Welcome back, survivors. My name is Anton. I'm a community associate here at QI Games, and I will be hosting today's vlog. It's been a minute since we've done one of these, so let me briefly catch you up to speed on what's been going down in 2022. At the beginning of the year, we restructured QI Games in order to achieve our goals for an early access release. Over the past year, we've hired a new team, tackled plenty of technical debt, and begun to mold the gameplay of Dead Matter so it can live up to the initial vision we set out to accomplish. We've hired several industry veterans to lead our company, and their experience has helped us expand our team size as well as ensure that we have a steady production pipeline. With more senior leadership, we've seen a huge boost to QI Games productivity over the last several months. Over that time, we've managed to launch 3 closed alpha updates to our backers, with each update bringing drastic changes to Dead Matter, and with the combined pedigree of new and old staff, laid a clearer path to early access. For today's vlog, we're going to focus on where the game is right now and the changes we're making for our next closed alpha update, as well as the scope for our initial early access launch. What you'll see today is the work we're putting in to release a solid initial early access version of Dead Matter. There's a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. First, we're going to talk about Infected. We're currently working on improving the Infected spawning system and AI systems to increase the level of immersion in Dead Matter. What this means is that Infected should spawn in a way that feels natural in the game world. On top of that, our AI changes should improve other Infected behaviors. For example, when you alert one Infected, they will alert other nearby Infected within a certain radius, causing them to form a horde. This also opens up our Infected behavior so we can start to incorporate different playstyles, like stealth. Aside from Infected behavior, we've also begun remodeling our Infected using Unreal's metahumans. But we're also adding our own custom detailing to give them that undead look. These new Infected models are already looking a lot better, and we're excited to expand these models as development progresses. It's not just our Infected models getting an upgrade, we've also done the same with our player models. Our initial model set will be limited, but we will expand over the course of development. Moving away from our previous models is another step in the right direction for improving the overall look of Dead Matter. The scope of our initial early access launch is something else we'd like to clarify in this vlog. We've decided to limit the initial size of the map for early access launch, so we can focus on refining key locations and creating a more interesting and immersive open world experience. The initial map will focus on the town of Dead Man's Flats, as well as some surrounding locations outside of the town and getting into the mountains. Don't get it wrong, this map is still large, and there will be plenty of things to explore in this slice of the game alone. Also, as development continues after early access launch and after our full launch, we will continue to expand the map in future updates. Another thing I'd like to announce is our composer. We've hired Alexander Brandon to score Dead Matter. We're excited to start implementing these tracks into the game, and we're using some of the music he wrote for Dead Matter in today's vlog. Now, let's take a look at some of the locations that will appear in early access. Keep in mind that all of these locations are in our closed alpha and therefore still a work in progress. As we highlight a few of these locations, I want to discuss a few of the graphical changes we've made as a team over the past couple of months. First off is the implementation of Lumen, which allows for far more dynamic and realistic lighting scenarios in Dead Matter. We have also spent our time creating a volumetric cloud system and a retroreflector system that improves the look of road signs and other reflective materials. We've also optimized our virtual texturing system, which assists with the amount of memory being used to render textures in our open world, thereby improving performance. This combination of technologies is really elevating our game into another level of graphical fidelity, and it's helping us achieve our goals for capturing a realistic aesthetic for Dead Matter. Now let's take a quick look at some of the more subtle gameplay changes coming to Dead Matter. The first thing I want to discuss is the changes to looting that our team is currently making. Loot is an important element of any survival game, and we needed to overhaul our looting system to improve the gameplay of Dead Matter. The first thing our team did was redesign containers to spawn loot based on the container's location in the game world. So, if you open a drawer in a hunting cabin, it will spawn loot that is relevant for that hunting cabin, whereas a drawer in a townhome will have a different set of loot to draw from. This loot change is based on a dynamic loot volume system. In short, this system allows us to set loot spawning rules for different locations all over the map. Moreover, we can add additional layers like differentiating a kitchen and a bathroom within that dynamic loot volume. As a result, we can make loot spawn randomly, but also be much more contextual to the location that you find it on the map. Our team has also worked hard on creating a tier system for loot. This tier system ranks items based on their value. It is important for us to structure the flow of each player's gameplay experience, and having a tier system helps us do that. This works hand in hand with our map design and other gameplay elements, so players get a sense of progression as they play the game. When you first spawn into the world, you're going to typically find lower tier loot. As you continue to explore, you will come across more dangerous locations that will obviously have much better loot. It's a simple concept, but it gives the game an actual sense of momentum as you play through the game for several hours. The last thing I'll share today is the changes we've been making to our medical system. Our team is dissecting and fixing our medical system to ensure that status effects and damage are properly being applied. Additionally, our team is making sure that these ailments to the player character can be treated with bandages or medicine, and that those items are having an effect on the player. It sounds simple, but what we're going for here is not a system that just works, but one that actually adds to the gameplay experience of Dead Matter. We're striving for a fairly in-depth system here, and we want to ensure that this system is easy to expand in the future and interesting for players during gameplay. We will have more to share with you as this work continues in the future. That's it for this Road to Early Access vlog. I highly encourage you to read our September blog post written by our development team to get a more in-depth breakdown of some of the changes discussed in this vlog. By the way, Dead Matter is available to wishlist on Steam, so please consider hitting that wishlist button so you can be among the first to play the game when it reaches its early access phase. Stay tuned to our blog for more details about Dead Matter's development, and we will return with a new vlog around Closed Alpha 0.10. Thank you for watching.